รูอะไรตาไม่เห็นมันมีรูอะไรเลยอ่ะ
หรือว่าเขากำลังโกหกพวกเราอยู่
พัดเคยส่องไอ้รูในแล้วพี่พิมพ์
พัดเห็นอะไรอ่ะความจริงมันอยู่ตรงนั้นตลอดเวลา
The Whole Truth is a Thai supernatural mystery thriller about two siblings that stumble upon a hole in the wall at their grandparents' house. Horrifying events start to happen that slowly reveal the truth about a sinister family secret. Pim and Patt are brother and sister that live in a Thai suburb with their mom. They're typical high schoolers with typical problems with bullies and school cheerleader politics. Their lives change when their mom is hit by a drunk driver and sent to the hospital in critical condition. Pim and Pat's grandparents step in to help while their mother is in the hospital. The problem is, Pim and Pat have never met their grandparents before, let alone heard about them at all. While spending time at their grandparents' house, strange things start to happen, and a strange hole in their grandparents' wall sheds some light on a horrifying family secret. I like this horror film because even though it's not perfect, you can clearly see the influences that it pulls from. It addresses some relevant topics that needed to be discussed. It touches on mental health in families, disabilities, finding the truth, and bullying. The final thing this film touches on is about all sides of the truth. The film starts off by saying the truth is like a hole camouflaged in darkness. It's always been there, you just can't see it. It's the theme or premise of this film and is fully explored in its entirety. In this film, Pat is bullied by his schoolmate Pham because he wants to go on a date with his sister. He holds some blackmail material over Pim and threatens to reveal it if Pat doesn't do as he's told. It's something that happens to all children, but many people can relate to Pat's struggles because it's something that many people have gone through at some point in their lives. Pat has a leg disability that he was apparently born with, and the film discusses the judgment that people place on others that they deem are less than perfect. Perfect people don't exist as much as people cut their bodies and manipulate them to create the illusion that they are. Because even though you may look perfect, there may be something less than perfect seeping under the surface. The truth is, people are imperfect, and those imperfections are what make people who they are and beautiful to someone else. Beauty is subjective and is in the eye of the beholder. Just because you call something imperfect or pretty doesn't mean that everyone else will agree with your stance. The grandmother Wan has bouts of dementia that the grandfather tells the children to bear with and oftentimes ignore. Wan has nights where she belts blood-curdling screams at night, forgets moments, and has weird habits that make the children feel uncomfortable. Outside the film, mental health is treated differently depending on the community and the family you focus on. While some families seek treatment for their loved one's illness, others are untrusting of the medical system and prefer to be self-treated. Yet still, there are many others that ignore the symptoms altogether to avoid the stigma of being sick or unwell mentally. It's a very sensitive subject that deserves a movie of its own. The film carries influences from Asian horror films like Ju-on and The Ring. You can't unsee it. The acting is superb and one of the major highlights of the film. I think my favorite character is the grandmother Wan. She has to be a gentle grandma with the personality flips of someone with dementia and the ability to hide a sinister secret. Without trying to give away the story, this film is fantastic, suspenseful, mysterious, and at times horrifying. If you like horror and foreign films, you should definitely watch this film. I give The Whole Truth a solid 6.5 out of 10.